Everyone, it is Thursday the 16th of January. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and we go live every Thursday morning for a little bit of card making. So over the past week or so, we've been looking at the terrific Toadstools stamp set, the bundle. So this is it, and it has a matching punch, which is pretty cool. So we've been looking at that, and last week I did a reel of just a simple note card size. It is only a little one. It's a note card, and I thought it would be great for a beginner. And then last week during my live, we took that same card and we stepped it up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more oomph. And then today we're going to re-look at this again, and we're going to step it up just that little bit further. So hello, welcome if you are joining me. I am live on both Facebook and YouTube, so you can watch on whatever preferred platform you like. And of course, welcome to our replay warriors. We are glad to have you along as well. So let's get this switched around, and we will take a look at what we if you know me, who knows what the card is going to turn out like. We always wing it, but let's switch over. So hello, Wendy from Winnipeg. Oh, how cold is it in Winnipeg at the moment? Because I know that you guys get some pretty cold weather. So I have some friends in Winnipeg. So they're the two cards that we've done previously. Now I have already stamped and cut out a few images because I figured that you didn't really need to see me stamp and fussy cut again, because there's only 3 images that we can punch out. So what I've done this time is, instead of going for 2 hot pink melon mambo caps, I've bought in one in Fresh Freesia, and the reason why I have done that is because I have got some Fresh Freesia ribbon and also some purple sequins, and these are both free with Celebration, and they go beautifully with this paper and stuff as well. So I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the purple. I have also stamped 2 of the grass mounds this time instead of 1, so we've got that little bit extra. Good morning, Ronnie and Marilyn. Good morning. And then these were hard to they're a little bit tricky to fussy cut, so I've tried to do my best, but I was running out of time before the go live button was starting to loom on me. So they're a little bit rough, but I figured I'd rather do it off camera than have you sit and watch me do it. So, because I don't know about you, but I tend to pull faces when I'm concentrating and fussy cutting, so I don't think that you actually needed to see me pull faces. Wendy said it's not actually too bad for today and tomorrow, but my 40 with the wind chill on the weekend. No way. It's funny because my husband is he's going up to the APY lands, which is the Aboriginal lands in South Australia, right up close to it's basically in the middle of Australia, and right on the edge of the border between South Australia and Northern Territory. And it's going to be like 42 degrees up there. So you've got one end of the scale and he's going to have the other. So I don't think he's really looking forward to spending a week up there in that weather. But anyway, okay, so back to the card. So I have got we're going to go for a full-size card. Well, my full-size card. I shouldn't say a full-size card because, my cards are a little bit of a different size than everybody else's cards, but that's so that we can fit in everybody's envelopes. So this was the note card size, and this is my card size. So the height was actually the same. It's just a little bit wider than my regular size card. And I have already gone ahead and cut that layer because I thought, well, I don't want to deviate too much from the actual card because we're just trying to step it up that little bit more. So having said that, I have a question for you guys. So on this card, I used one of those wonky circles. Somebody said wonky circles last week, and I thought that is perfect for it. It's the all about around it all dies, and they are wonky circles in all different sizes. So should we keep a wonky circle, or I pulled these guys out this week as well and quite fell in love with them. These are arches. So you guys tell me, should I keep my circle because I'm just supposed to be stepping up my card, or should we change the shape altogether? Let me know what you think. Good morning, Deb. Who else is in? Deborah and Deb. Awesome. The two Debs are in. So what shall we do? You guys let me know. But I'm going to get some white cardstock. I had some here. You should see my desk. It's a total mess. Now, as we're creating, you will see there's a website on the screen, which is alisatilsner.com. If you head to that website, you can join up for my newsletter, and the card that we make today will go out as a free PDF tutorial next week. You'll get one free tutorial when you sign. You get that immediately, and then each week we'll get another free tutorial, generally the cards that we make today. Okay, so everyone's just saying that, oh, love the arches. Okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to use? I know that there's a bit of a delay, so I'll keep yakking while you guys tell me. Wonky circles or arches? I'll show you the wonky circles again, because I may have to. These are the wonky circles, which are so cool, really. And the arches. Lisa says wonky circles reminds her of the fungi rustic forest. So she says wonky circles. I agree. I have made some cards with, I think I've got them in here. Yes, I do, because they're going to be my next Creative Card Makers Club cards. So I'll give you a tiny sneak peek of them. And I have used the arches on them too, and I really, really like that. But I do agree with you that the wonky circles, and it sort of like gives that whimsical type of feel as well. So was that what I did? I'm gonna think I will keep the same size. Arches will be a nice change as well. Maybe because I am only supposed to be stepping it up, not recreating the whole thing. Maybe I should stick to the wonky circles as well. All right, I'm just going to trim it down because I reckon this one will fit in my mini trimmer, my mini die cutter thingy. You know, the thing that cuts out dies. So I like it when they go through this one because it means I don't have to get up and get the big one out. Okay. Yes, love it. Awesome. Alrighty, let's get this one cut out. And I'm thinking I might add a little bit of, what am I looking for? Right here, sitting right in front of me. I'm thinking I might add a little bit of ink blending around the edge of the circle on this one as well. So let's see what we can come up with. All right, so my circle will go there. Oh my lordy, my brain's not functioning today. Can't find things. I can tell that these ones are not going to stay stuck for very long. All right, shouldn't need you again. Okay, so let me bring this one in so that we know what we're sort of stepping up. I'm using that one as a guide. All right, so what stuck on there. So what I am going to do this time is I've got two of these guys. Now this one here, you'll notice sort of has like a little bit of an ombre look. Now that is pure accidental and I quite like it. I like it when it's like when you're doing grassy greenery. Is that a new word? Griefy? Greenery, because, you know, I think it just looks cool. But what happened and how I achieved that is that the middle of my ink pad is dry and the outer edges are quite inked. So when I stamp sort of half in the dark and half in the dry area, and I get that nice little ombre going on. So as much as I should, you know, refill my ink pad, I quite like the look that that gives me sometimes. So then I've got these two guys going on, and then this way I can layer and pop one behind the little grass mound and, you know, one in front of it. So that's changed that up a little bit. I've got my little things, my different colored caps. I'll get there eventually. And then I've also got the two little grassy leaf things that I can actually pop behind there as well. So that's stepping up our card a little bit without, you know, having to do anything extra. Basically, I haven't added anything extra except for a little couple of stamped images. So there's one little area of doing it. Now I had thoughts in my head as well that perhaps we should add a little bit of layering, and I quite like I've got some scraps here. I quite like the stripes, which is in the fresh freezer. I've got some Melon Mambo cardstock here, so I want to use both of these because I've got the two colored caps and because of my embellishments. So let's take a look and see what else we've got. And I also really like that. It would be really good if I could use the scraps, but I have a feeling I may not be able to. What back am I looking at for? I think they're the only two scraps I've got. One going one way, one going the other. And I don't know that it's going to be, you know what? We can be tricky. When we're using our scraps, let's use that, but it's obviously not long enough. And I like horizontal, now I can't pick any of this stuff up. And I like the horizontal vertical stripes going across, although it does match the same vertical stripes as what's going on there, but it doesn't matter. All right, so what we're going to do is just cut it in half. I need roughly about that on one side. Let's just do it. I know that there's heaps of paper and I can just cut into another sheet and all that sort of stuff, but all right, let's lift all of that up and we can pop that down there like that, and no one will ever know that there is a hole in the middle. Good morning, Vicky. How you going? From Adelaide. Where you are, just around the corner from me. Over the pond, over the waters. Okay. Now, the thing that I'm noticing now is that these two colours are sort of not really, let me bring that up. They're about like the same type of, what's the word, tone in a way, like it's not really being distinguished from each other. So I think we're going to need to pop in a little bit of, let's do this one here because I'm lazy and I can just trim that. So we can just, and I'm even going to be even lazier because this is just another scrap that I pulled out as well. Let's have a look and see how much width that has given us, because it might be a little bit too much for my liking. I think I need to trim it down just a wee bit, so I'm going to have to measure what you are. Oh, you're a nice even round number. I like that. Right, okay, so you're already there. I'm going to trim you down just a wee bit. So don't forget, if you want all the measurements that I'm using for the card, go over and sign up for the newsletter because these are getting tricky. I will probably give you the measurement for this paper. Oops, throwing stuff around everywhere. For this paper as a whole though, but you know, here's a little tip to just show you that you don't actually need to have a whole piece if you don't want to. Right, there we go. All right, and then all that stuff will go on there. So now I am thinking I'm just going to chuck them on. I'm not going to try and do anything fancy. Okay, so now we've got that going on, which is, you know, given me that little bit of separation between these two colors. Okay, now I was thinking about ink blending, but now I've changed my mind because I've got all this other color going on. So I'm going to change my mind on that, and we're allowed to do that. So now I'm going to just sort out my sentiment, and then we're going to start working on, I've got an idea about the ribbon in my head. But what I thought I might do is keep my sentiment, which is just a little thank you. Just a little thank you. And will you fit on there? Yes, you will. We will white emboss this on the Melon Mambo. So I've got all my stuff here. And you'll notice I'm old school. I just use a folded piece of paper to funnel back my embossing powder. So, you know, we do have the trays, but this just suits me fine. Doesn't worry me at all. Okay. See, and then you just fold it up and funnel it back. Easy peasy. Shake it off. There's probably a nice collection of embossing powder embedded in my carpet down there. All right, let's give this a quick zap. Good morning, Sherry. So Vicky says that she got the DSP yesterday, which is from the garden, Toadstool Gardens. So I showed you this last week, but these are all really pretty. I'm glitching. All right, now, because I cannot cut straight, I know there are only little cuts, but I can't do it. I cannot cut straight. I don't know why. With a pair of scissors, it will go wonky. So I am just going to trim this with my little trimmer here. Close your eyes if you don't like seeing non-Stampin' Up stuff. Okay, get that straight. And yep, okay. And then I'm going to cut these in half. You can do it. I have done it. You just have to be careful. Woo. Just have to be super careful. There you go. Thank you. Just a little. No, I have to, oh no, I'm not even going to trim that. That's just getting. You know what? No, I'm not. I can't even trim. I can't even get the end straight if I try and cut them with scissors. I don't know. I can't do it. Maybe it's my wonky eyes. All right, so now I've got just a little thank you. And I do need to get all my thank you gifts for the last couple of months sent out. I apologize. I do have them all. It's just that now I don't have a computer. It has been at the computer repairs. Oh, if you know one of the sagas of my computer. Day before the last day of the year, I went in to use my Mac and it was blank and there was a little thing saying, we can't find anything on your computer. Basically, the operating system had decided to cack itself. And so, and it was unrecoverable. I'm just thinking, what do we got? This is seam binding. Did we used to melt this? Is this the one that we used to melt? Hello, tweezers. Tweezers. Did we used to melt this one? Obviously not. No, there was one that we used to melt. Where's the off button? There was one that we used to heat and it would shrivel up and shrink, but obviously that's not the one. Okay, I've got a thing in. What did we used to do with it? We used to pull a thread or something and it would scrunch, did it not? I'm pretty sure that's what we used to do, but I can't see anymore. And I don't know what I'm doing. We used to do some sort of trick with the seam binding. Ah, there we go. Okay, did have it. You just want a couple of threads. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing, but there's a couple of threads on the end here hanging out. Maybe I need to get a little bit more. maybe I'm just, there we go. We used to do this. So if you pull a couple of threads, you can get a scrunchy look going on. And that is what I thought I might like to do on this card, because this is something I have not done for so long. How long do I need? A little bit longer. I'm sure we used to, or did we flame the end of things? I know that we did that. And I know I did one. It might have just been satin ribbons that we used to seal the ends, but I know I did one and it caught on fire and I was like, whoops, nope, that's the wrong ribbon. So I cannot remember. Okay, so let's trim that off. So now we've got a really, really crinkly thing. I don't know whether it will hold or not. I might be able to wrap it around the back and sort of just flatten the areas out. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. I don't know. Okay, so back to my computer story. So anyway, the boys, the computer guy said, no, sorry, can't do anything about your computer. You need to get something new. And my two boys, who are big into PCs and gaming, they were like, Mum, let us build you a PC. And I was like, okay, no worries. So they've given me a computer that's got more oomph and way more storage than anything that I could have afforded in a new iMac. So anyway, we got it. They built it. It was up and running. I used it over the weekend. Thank goodness. Managed to catch up on a few things. Took it down to the computer shop on Monday because all of my photos and my documents and all of that stuff is still on a machine, and it has been taking, like, I still haven't got it back. So it's been taking all that long. He rang up on Tuesday because he thought I might have it back on Tuesday, and he's like, just letting you know that we are still updating, like, because they've had to transfer all my photos and documents over onto a different computer, like a Mac that they've got down there, and then convert it and change it all back to a PC so I can. Anyway, he's like, oh, I'm working on your 25,000 photos. And I'm like, well, there are 20 years worth of photos on there, so it doesn't surprise me. But anyway, I don't have it back yet. He thought I might have it back yesterday, but no such luck. So hopefully, crossing fingers today, because I've got work that I've managed to do as much as I can on my iPad, but there is some stuff I need a computer to do. So that is why I'm getting behind in things. Okay, so what I am going to do is try and stick that on the back here, and I'm thinking that I might actually what adhesive should I use? Let's pull that. See, I can pull that a little bit on the straighter side and try and stick that nice and flat. And then let's stick some on this side. You can use glue dots if you don't like the seal. Let's try and get that straight. I've lost a little bit of crinkle, but it's still, it's not looking too bad. You have to sort of keep it on the flatter side again, because we want to stick stuff on top of that. So, all right, that's not too bad. And if you wanted to, you could also pop a couple of glue dots like underneath here if it's flopping around a little bit. So, okay, let's get this stuck down. But the good news is that my photos, I think, are safe. That was my biggest worry. I had a little bit of a meltdown the other day, thinking, oh no, I've lost all my photos. All right. Okay, still got a little bit of crinkle. It's okay. All right, let's get this stuck together now. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to do is tell you, we have, because it's Celebration, and I've been showing you the 3 free Celebration items, 3 free, try and say that fast, but we also have a joining offer. So when you join, and it's still $169 in Australia, and you will get the Handmade Designs stamp set for free. So it's a rubber one, and I've yet to play with it. I think that I might move on to this one next. So you get the stamp set for free, but you also get to choose any 2 of the full Stampin' Right markers. So you could go for the brights and the subtles, or you could go for the brights and a neutral. So any 2 of them, whole packs, you can actually pick for free. So it's a really good deal, and it's only available during Celebration. So you have until the end of February to be joining up. So if you've got a wish list, or if you're just starting out in your card making journey, and and obviously your wish list is pretty long if you're just starting out, but let me bring that back in again. So it is probably the best deal is to join, and you can save some money on all your purchases. We get things early. Which way shall I put this? Shall I put it the same way? I don't know. We'll just pop it wherever it goes. Okay, so we're going to have that circle going on. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to do something else. It was all saved, thank goodness. I did have it all backed up on the time machine. It's because I'm going from an iMac back to what am I looking for? Right in front of me. Because I'm going back to a PC, it's, they read things differently. So I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to do here, because one needs to have more dimensionals than the other. But okay, so we're going to pop out 2. We're going to hang one off the edge there. Whoops, it's crooked, but it doesn't matter. So this one here, I'm going to put a mini on this end because it's going to hang off. Now, thing is, if I go and hang it off of here, I'll need to double mount on that. So I only want it to hang off in that spot there. But I'm also going to grab just an edge. You can see I've been taking lots of edges here lately. So I'm just going to take an edge and pop it right along that lower edge there, and another little skinny one, and pop it right along that lower edge, because they hang off of this one here a little bit. So we want them to all be nice and flat on our card. Did I get that one? Yep. So that way we can layer them on top of each other and it not be, if I wanted to put one on the end of here, I would need to double mount that, because I've got mounting here and mounting here. Okay, let's pop our little guys in here. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different, I think. What shall I do? What shall I do? Oops, put them in the wrong. I might put this guy. All right, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to pop a little bit of that liquid glue that I struggle with, and I'm going to stick a dimensional on the back. So this is going to be flat, and the little cap is going to be raised. So I'm going to pop you back in where I think you want to be. I'm going to stick him in there, and then I'm going to pop this, and just be careful because it has got that wet glue on it, and I've got dimensionals going on behind here, so I need to find somewhere to slip it in. So let's slip him in behind and pop the cap up. So it's sort of on a funny angle. And then this guy here, I can do the same, but I'm not going to use that liquid glue because I struggle with that. So let's pop some dimensionals up there, and I'm just going to have another one there. 20,000, 25,000. I hope they've got massive, like, couple of terabyte things, because there was like 2 terabytes worth of stuff on my computer. Okay, so I'm going to slip that underneath between the 2, and then that one's going to mount up. So the caps are going to be basically at the same height. I don't know whether I can show you that. How it's a bit tricky, but you can see there's a fair bit of height and stuff going on. And then these little guys I will pop under as well, and this one unfortunately I'm going to have to use. I mean, I suppose I could pull out a glue dot, couldn't I? But it's not too hot today. I find when it's hot it just oozes everywhere and I make a big mess. So let's stick you down there, and we'll stick you on the other side as well, I think. So, but yeah, but definitely my spreadsheets and all that type of thing, I think I need to move them to a web-based thing instead of saving them, or put them on a hard drive, put them on an external as well. Not that it would have helped me because I don't have a computer to open them up on. Anyway, but I'm just thankful that I had the time machine backups. So I'm going to have to figure out whether I can do that sort of thing on the Mac as well, on the Windows. My boys don't back anything up, but I suppose if they're only playing games, they probably don't need to be backing stuff up. All right, so we're going to split these. We're going to put just a little on one side. Snick you in there. Can't see much of my ribbon now, can you? Let's scrunch it up a little bit. There we go. And I might put that straight down there. That looks like a good spot for it. I need to clean my glass mat. I've got so much little glue spots on there. Just a little. Thank you. And right, so I've got my ribbon. Let's put some bling on. And let's go for the darker pinky color, which somebody said last week is Berry Burst. So tuck these in nice and tight. There we go. And just because, let's put a little bit of Wink of Stella on these as well. All right, clean up a little bit. And Wink of Stella, I think that's my newer one. I don't know. Anyway, I've got so many in here. Is that my new one? I should get rid of the ones that don't work anymore. Oop, yeah, this one's got stuff in it. If I squeeze it too hard, it'll come out and it'll be like yucky white. And just be careful for the hot pink one because the ink moves around on that one, and if you do what I just did, because I forgot, then you will have pink lines instead of white lines. And just be careful for those circles as well, because you cover them over and they will turn out to be pink. And then don't forget to wipe it off. Okay, so there is my slightly more stepped up card. So just a couple of extra little features. There we go. So I've gone from, I'm glad we kept the same shape because we've just gone from a simple note card to a slightly stepped up note card, and then we've taken it one little step further and just added some layers and added some extra stamped images. And so there you go. So you can build on. So what you could do is, if that you are in the designing process and you get to this stage here, and I don't often create at this stage, but if you get to this stage and you're thinking, oh, you know, what extra can I do? Then, you know, just think about adding some extra stamped images or a couple of extra layers. I really like putting scrappy layers in, which I think, you know, I'm always like, oh, what can I do? What extra can I do? And it's just like either a little tab or something like that. So good morning, Lynn. She's still not sold on the Toadstool stamp set, but the more cards that she's being seen made, maybe she could be convinced. Oh, I know. You know what? I wasn't actually going to get it, but I'm trying to find, reach behind me. I've got a couple of things to show. So these are the cards. These are the ones I've been going on really, really brightly. So these are going to be the cards for my Creative Card Makers Club. So these are super, super bright, super fun and happy, and just like, wow, really out there. Very, very fun. For I think the last couple have been more subdued. And then also I have done a little bit of colouring. So you may have seen I had coloured my Toadstools. I stamped them and then I coloured them with pencil over the top, which I thought were really cool. So I've got 4 of them to play with now. So if you're not convinced on maybe the colours are too bright for you in all those papers and stuff, you can go for a little bit more of a natural look. So I did, if you're over in the Blends and Beyond Facebook group, which is my colouring in group, I did a video on these on Tuesday, and so they are up. And when I get my computer back, cross fingers today, I will download that video and pop it up onto YouTube as well. And then I also did some grassy mounds. Believe it or not, I actually stamped these in the basic beige as well, and then I coloured them in with pencil and I did a little bit of texture work. So I've still yet to come up with art with all of these fun natural looking toadstools. I've got to come up with something for that. So that'll be a bit more subdued, I think, that card. So there we have it. Okay, fantastic. Let me just switch over. So hello. I don't know what I'm saying. Hello. I'm just coming back, I think. So if you wanting the instructions to this card here that we've created today, don't forget, head on over to alisatilsner.com. It's on the screen. Sign up for my newsletter and you'll get that coming out next week as a written PDF, so you can follow along with it if you wish, with all the measurements. Okay, thanks very much for joining. I think on Tuesdays, because I've always been saying, oh, I think I'll go live on Tuesdays and that. I think I need to get back into my colouring in group. So I think Tuesdays will be a colouring day. And then, but I will also upload those videos to YouTube as well when I get the time. And then Thursdays will be our regular card making. So that is going to be the plan. So if you're not in the Blends and Beyond group, head on over there as well. It's just colouring. It's pure just colouring. There's no card making. I just colour. Okay, so thanks very much. And we will catch you again next week. So bye for now. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. See ya.